Welcome back, gang. It's Deltia from Deltiasgaming.com with some hot, spicy takes on what could be coming to The Elder Scrolls in 2023. And it might be something ZeniMax Online Studios has been wanting to do since 2014.
Spellcrafting is a system that a lot of people have been asking about for a pretty long time. It was a big favorite of everyone in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And it's safe to say that it's something that's really exciting because it allows so much flexibility and creativity for your builds and your characters. Conjure Flame Atronach.
Yes, I'm predicting spellcrafting coming to Elder Scrolls Online and possibly the return to Morrowind in 2023. Let me explain. First off, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to do me a big thumbs up, hit that like and subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let's be honest here, 2022 was a rocky road for the Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm not talking about delicious ice cream. What? It's the holidays! With massive disappointment for most players, the Tales of Tribute card game edition as the main selling point of the chapter was lackluster for the broader audience, and with more companions and more of the same, ZeniMax didn't deliver anything massive beyond Oakensoul, a one-piece mythic item that locked you into one bar and was obscenely overpowered on launch of the High Isles. Well, until they nerfed it into oblivion besides heavy attack builds, but we're moving along. In spring 2023, we will see the 9th anniversary of the game and a shift away from the current content structure per Matt Firer in his studio letter from late 2022. Quote, given the above, 2023 will see us moving away from the quote-unquote year-long adventure. 12-month storylines that have been featured since 2019 Season of the Dragon. I think these have run their course and frees us up to do some new and interesting content that we've been wanting to do for a few years now. From this post alone, we can speculate on what's coming in 2023, make a big, huge, full-face thumbnail that every clickbait YouTuber loves to do, including me. Moving along to another part of the post where he gives the content cadence and what to expect. Quarter 1 Dungeon DLC. Rinse and repeat. We'll collect everything with the sticker book in about 1 week and move on. Quarter 2, one of the most requested features. Clickbait! Quarter number 3, focus on quality of life, aka probably taking 3 months off and nothing's getting fixed. Quarter number 4, another new feature, aka Overland Content scaling? More on that later. Quarter number 3, focusing on quality of life and fixing bugs, is a very interesting concept, and especially if it actually gets done, it would be great. But if it's just take 3 months off, then what's the deal here? A lot of us, including myself, know and are aware that ZeniMax Online Studios is creating a new MMO IP with over 200 employees. We are beginning to wonder, is this game throttling down because of that? Or is it going to stay the same? This quarter 3 thing points to something like that. This coming from Massively OP, link in the description below. ZeniMax Online Creative Director gives some details about working on a new game with over 200 developers worldwide. Don't believe me? Check out ZeniMax Online's hiring. There's massive hiring going on right now. Probably should get my resume up to date. Wonder if they take super aggressive YouTubers and obnoxiously loud streamers. Is there a good job for that? I'll stick to my day job. This post and more is the reason many players have been speculating that 2023 could be lackluster, which I was on board until recently. Courtesy of my friend, My Name is Elias, there's some juicy details in the story signifying a return to Morrowind, specifically the Telvanni Peninsula, with multiple dialogue pieces suggesting this is the next part of the story. The text from these stories has always led to near confirmations of locations in the new chapter, not to mention there's some data mine material that suggests spellcrafting and the Telvanni Peninsula are almost guaranteed. Morrowind was the original test game to feature spellcrafting. It was incredibly deep, complex, and near limitless. In that game, you could make super powerful abilities with the Azura that would nuke gods. Rip Vivek! You could make levitation spells. You get the point. It was near limitless. But they wouldn't bring that to an MMO. Ha 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 ha! Or would they? Now, why do I think it's spellcrafting? Because ZOS hasn't done something combat related since 2019, I think. Both Antiquities and Psijic Order skill lines have some application in combat. With Mythic system, it gave something for everyone. Sweatlord PvPer, you need to collect the latest and greatest mythics, and that led to leads scattered throughout Tamriel. Same with Housing Folks, Fashion, PvEers. It doesn't matter what you played, those systems were great. Psijic Order is used on nearly all characters from time to time due to channel acceleration and race against time, and beforehand the main spammals were meta for quite some time. Nearly everyone participated in these systems, while Companions and Tales of Tributes just fell flat and felt like more of a niche part of the overall game. This leads to spellcrafting, which they've wanted to do for nearly 10 years. If this game is going to compete with World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, Final Fantasy, New World, and others, this could be the one true selling point of the game in the chapter, the ability to create unique and interesting spells with massive series of combinations. And there's good reason to believe that this is possible, as they've already shown this from QuakeCon footage in 2014, what this could look like and how it could work. What was shown at QuakeCon could still be in the game. A way to change base morphs to include additional effects, increased duration, reduced cost, make them ultimate single target AoE, you get the point. Imagine having the exploration and collection of the tablets like antiquities and the gameplay combat elements of all your favorite systems wrapped into one. Imagine ESO actually having something unique in the MMO marketplace and a huge selling point. Spellcrafting might be clickbait, it might be wishful thinking, but if it becomes true, 2023 and beyond would be a massive year for Elder Scrolls Online. I'd imagine this would work in one of two ways, since the game has evolved by many years since this was originally conceptualized. One, it would be super overpowered and completely game-breaking, with nearly everyone being forced to purchase the chapter to stay relevant. Two, it would be watered down and kinda lame, with 2 or 3 spells be usable like a heal or a mobility or something not really game-changing. I imagine the system will be the former, not the latter, as ZOS is known for introducing new classes, skill lines, gear set, mythics, so overtuned that people abuse it for 3 months before it gets nerfed into oblivion. I'm looking at you, Oakensoul, Necromancer, Gaesosithus, Bahases, Wildcath. I'm running out of breath. You get the idea. But even if that were the case, oh my god, would this be awesome. Now, what about a new class, which is also something that a lot of folks want? From what I heard and my little understanding of game development, I'm told it's probably not possible. Reason being, ESO is initially started development in 2007. The game's engine was originally developed by the Hero engine as early as 2012, the same archaic engine that held back Star Wars: The Old Republic. In a 2012 interview with Game Informer, Matt Fire talks about the early days using the Hero engine. Quote, "Hero engine to us gave us a head start. It was a useful tool for us to use as a prototype areas and game design concepts. And it provided us the ability to get art into the game that was visible so we could work on the game's art style. Our plan is for ESO to be a world-class MMO with the most advanced social features found in any MMO to date." So while we were prototyping the game on Hero Engine, we were simultaneously developing our own client server and messaging layers that were specifically designed with ESO in mind. Think of the Hero Engine as a whiteboard for us, a great tool to get some ideas in game and start looking at them while the production engine was in development. While Hero Engine gave ZOS a starting point, the original decision could have consequences going forward, and I'm unaware if their vision of using their own custom engine or a different one came to fruition, as the Hero Engine has them, Elder Scrolls Online, listed on their website. Moreover, the game sticking to the old generation of consoles limits the amount of memory and hardware that can be used. I can't see ZOS limiting their player base by moving off the older generations of consoles either. It's a very easy gateway for newer players to access the game initially. Without cross-play or cross-save, someone levels up, buys everything in the Crown Store before realizing the server stability and lack of add-ons on console is so limiting they either give up or move to PC just to do it all over again. So you run into a complex problem. The game's engine and servers are old and outdated, with what seems like no real solution besides ZeniMax Online dumping a ton of money to fix both. Now, the servers have seen some attention on PC&A, so I have to keep it real, there's hope there. But the engine and the base code? I would assume this would need a massive upgrade before a new class or skill. But let's be honest here. I'm a streamer. I'm a YouTuber. I can barely read or write. That's why I play video games all day. I hope we can rewind this video in the future and make some funny memes about how stupid I look. But I wouldn't plan on it. Now let's jump ahead to Q4. What I expect is coming is a revitalization to Overland content. Reason being, this is the most requested feature, harder Overland content. I'm old enough to remember 1 Tamriel. This actually was one of the best and worst things to happen to the game. The update that made the world, specifically Overland, truly feel like a test game. Start the game, do a tutorial, and then go do anything you want, anywhere. Until then, it was forcibly quest heavy, where you needed to complete faction and main story quests to progress to other parts of the map. Sure, the first time this is great. Beyond that, it was brutally painful. What separates ESO leveling process from any other game that I've played is the truly unique freedom in the feel, the way to play you want, when you want. Still why I love leveling Elder Scrolls Online. Dripping with progression dopamine like I hit a 10 million view TikTok dance video. I can't get enough. But 1 Tamriel diminishes any difficulty to Overland. In Overland's current form, an experienced player like me can literally solo everything in the zone, including the 10 million HP wandering bosses. I just did this in the Deadlands on my stamina nightblade, allegedly the hardest thing in the zone. This is one of the main reasons I no longer participate in the story. They aren't immersive with 20 other people standing on top of the quest giver. You get 2 random ding-dongs with names like Necro Big Daddy Dan and another one Teabags for free, and I'm out, no questing. Throw in the fact that these quests are simple and easy with little choices and consequences, and I move on. I ask myself, is it challenging? Is it instance-based? Or is it going to make my character more powerful? No, no, and no. It's an MMO. For me, it's all about doing more challenging things with friends, so I rarely participate in Overland or the story. Star Wars: The Old Republic has a great way for dealing with this. They instance your character story, so no one can join if you don't want them to, and you can scale the difficulty and the rewards scale with how difficult it is. Up until recently, you could earn the best in slot gear in the game just by questing on the hardest difficulty. And I'm not the only one to think this about Overland Content. This is the most popular and requested feature in the ESO forums. It's so popular that ZOS had to reduce control the amount of posts about Overland difficulty. Excuse me. If we assume their development team is shrieking due to the massive new IP and MMO, which is purely speculation on my part, then it's reasonable and likely to assume this would be a strong design choice. Why not make a system that reuses all the old content in Overland zones instead of making new handcrafted stuff? Similar to Antiquities, but much longer lasting and much higher replayability. This would be a home run for ZOS, freeing up much more time to deliver something massive in 2024 for ESO's 10th year anniversary. Maybe a new skill line, a new class, who knows? Or maybe something like checkers in an MMO. That would be great. But what are your thoughts? Please feel free to leave me a nasty comment about why you hate the game and no longer play. I just love reading them in the morning. Starts my day off with a fresh glass of positivity. And if you got something out of this video, click that thumbs up and subscribe. And come watch me live on twitch.tv/Deltiasgaming, where my mom claims I'm the greatest streamer alive. Thanks for watching.